Greetings again, my mischievous friends. This is your lore monger. With winter finally over and spring starting, I wanted to chat about that day of delightful deceit that is April Fool's Day. We know it as a day of chaos, laughter, and maybe a little bit of trickery, but where did this day of pranks actually come from? Did it just pop up out of nowhere, or is there a real story somewhere behind it? Today, we're looking at the two most popular theories that historians have come up with to explain this day of trickery. Let's be honest, even they aren't really sure. Theory number 1, blame the calendar. In 1582, France decided to switch from the old Julian calendar to the new Gregorian calendar. The old calendar had the new year starting around April 1st with the spring equinox. The new calendar moved it to January 1st with the winter solstice. Many pagan cultures continued to celebrate the new year in late March and early April. This made them prime targets for jokes. People started calling them April Fools and played pranks on them, like sticking paper fish on their backs, because fish are easy to catch, like a gullible person. This is the more popular theory, but many historians point out that there isn't much proof of April Fool's traditions in France for a long time after that. So did it really start there? Maybe. Theory number 2, ancient Rome. They had a festival called Hilaria around March 25th. At this festival, people dressed up, made fun of each other, and mocked the big shots. Some think this festival was inspired by Egyptian myths about gods and trickery. There was also the idea that April Fool's Day is tied to the start of spring, generally when the weather goes crazy and fools everyone. Nature herself even plays pranks. This theory connects April Fools to older traditions that celebrate the change of seasons with a bit of humor. The idea is fun, but again, hard evidence is pretty thin. The reality is, we don't really know for sure where April Fool's Day came from. The oldest written record of April 1st pranks comes from a Flemish poem in 1561. This is before the French calendar change, which kind of throws a wrench in that theory. But again, in England, the tradition shows up in the 17th and 18th centuries. So by 1708, people were already asking about its origins. Scotland even turned April Fools into a 2-day event called a Hunting Walk Day, where they sent people on ridiculous errands. Speaking of traditions, the Myths and Mischief team came up with their own fun way to celebrate the craziness of spring. For the month of April, we will be sharing all of the Easter eggs that we can find in our favorite stories. So keep your eyes peeled for those little hidden gems. You never know what we might share. So what's the truth about April Fool's Day? Is it calendar confusion, ancient festivals, or just a human love for a good joke? Maybe it's a mix of all of these theories. Wherever it came from, April Fool's Day is now a worldwide tradition, a day where we all get to be a little bit foolish. This year, remember the history and maybe plan a little harmless prank of your own. Just maybe try not to get fooled yourself. As always, make sure to like and subscribe and keep your eyes out for those Easter egg videos this month.